Voting has finally begun across Uganda after delays caused by technical problems with biometric machines. Millions of Ugandans are expected to cast their ballots in a high-stakes election, with 70% of those voting under the age of 35. 8 candidates are up for the top spot, including incumbent President Yoweri Museveni. Our correspondent Michael Baleke is joining us live now from Kampala with more. Michael, what's the latest on the elections there in Uganda?
Hello, Penina. What I can tell you from where I am in the capital, in the middle of the capital Kampala, Kampala, is that voting started generally, in a good mood. People were early at the polling centers, many in large numbers. Then, of course, but the problem came in when the polling by mid-morning, they had not voted because of the technical difficulties with the biometric machines. Many of them got disturbed and, well, they remained calm until the Electoral Commission came out and ordered the polling agents to use the manual, to go back to the manual system in the areas where the biometric machines completely failed. Well, but what I can say is now voting has started. Polling centers are clearing out. Everyone is actually, voting and leaving. They're under the sun and waiting to cast, their vote. Everyone is calm. Police is still in place and the military guarding the polling stations. We have seen many around the city. Of course, we cannot know what happened outside Kampala because there's an internet shutdown, as you may be aware. But what we know is President Museveni has already voted, and the top one of the top contenders, Bobi Wine, has also voted, and 8 other candidates for the president. Penina?
Michael, take us through the process we are going to see between now and the end of these polls until the results are announced.
Well, what is happening now is that voting has started. It was late. We're not sure whether they will increase the time for voting, but what we know, at about 4 p.m. local time, the voting will end. And after ending, then there will be, vote counting at the different polling stations where voting has taken place. Then these results from those polling stations, 50,000 in number, what we know, will be then sent to the Electoral Commission, where the process of tallying will begin. This process is not a simple process, so we expect this process to take several days, starting tonight until probably in the late hours of Saturday or Sunday. There will be areas from up country will be transmitting. This will be made, it's even more difficult because they have to be manually sent to the Electoral Commission. So this is what we are going to see right now in the days, as the day goes during the day, until the Electoral Commission starts the tallying process, probably later in the night. Penina?
Well, Michael, you did mention that there is no internet. It's been shut down. We do know the authorities had earlier decided to do that. Just right across the country. What are the concerns and what's the impact of this so far?
It has been quite complicated. Many people have said that, well, previously, we have seen in previous elections when the internet was on, transmission of results was easy. We would know what was happening elsewhere. I mean, even as the journalists, it's becoming very difficult to know which polling centers have people, which polling centers don't have people, what's going on elsewhere in the country. Apart from that, what we are watching at the Uganda broadcaster, transmitted by the government. But it has been very difficult to coordinate. People are worried that the electoral process may be flawed because they wouldn't know what is happening where help is needed. But of course the government says this was done to stop disinformation during the election process. They also wanted the electoral process to go smoothly without any violence. They said there was a lot of misinformation and violent language being distributed on different social media channels. So they believe the calm that we are seeing was as a result of this internet shutdown. But of course, many people have remained, they feel there's something wrong that's going on, and they don't believe that what government is telling them is the truth. Penina?
Michael, thank you for that update. Michael Balake speaking to us live there from Kampala. Now, CGTN's Robert Nagila takes a closer look at Uganda's top two presidential contenders, incumbent President Yoweri Museveni and opposition leader Bobi Wine.
Among the candidates running in Uganda's presidential election, observers contend that the two leading candidates are the incumbent President Yoweri Museveni of the ruling National Resistance Movement Party and Bobi Wine of the National Unity Platform opposition party. President Museveni first came to power in 1986, seizing power from the government of General Tito Okello following a guerrilla war. The 81-year-old incumbent has won 6 presidential elections and is urging voters to give him a 7th term in office to protect the gains of the past 40 years. He studied political science at the University of Dar es Salaam before founding an armed movement that would help remove President Idi Amin from power. Praised for his fight against the AIDS pandemic, Museveni's administrations have been dogged by allegations of corruption. Museveni, however, says those found guilty have been held to account. In 2005, Uganda's parliament scrapped presidential term limits, allowing Museveni to contest successive elections. He is widely popular in Uganda's rural areas and is credited with bringing peace and stability to the East African nation after years of turmoil. He has also deployed peacekeepers to Somalia, the DR Congo and South Sudan. His main challenger is 43-year-old former pop star turned politician Robert Kyagulanyi, popularly known as Bobi Wine. Wine grew up in a low-income neighborhood in the capital, Kampala, and studied music at the University of Makerere before earning a Bachelor of Law degree at the Cavendish University in Kampala in 2024. Wine has a largely youthful support base and is hugely popular in urban areas. In 2017, he joined politics and became the MP for Kyadondo East. In the last election in 2021, he won 35% of the vote against Museveni in an election his camp alleged was tampered with. Wine has promised to tackle widespread corruption and unemployment if elected. He says the election is a protest vote against the policies of Museveni.
You go and vote.
If no candidate gets an outright majority in the first round of voting, a runoff will be held within a month. Robert Nagila, CGTN.